go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Academy of Interactive Entertainment Seattle campus class of 2021 virtual commencement ceremony. Thank you all so much for being here to help in the celebration of this group of graduates. We are learning a lot today about live streaming, and one of the things we've learned is how to enable the chat function on YouTube. So if you aren't seeing the chat, please refresh your browser window and it will pop up. There is always good stuff happening in the chat, so I highly recommend you follow along. My name is Ursula Frank, and I'm the head of school for the Seattle campus. I am positively thrilled to be here as your MC for today's ceremony. We have some special treats in store for you, but before we get to all of that, I want to take a moment to thank everyone that helped get each graduate to this point. First, let us start with friends, family, and loved ones. The commitment involved in completing this program has a profound impact on those closest to these graduates. Family and friends were either quietly or incredibly loudly cheering on each student every step of the way. You provided them transportation, you bought the equipment they needed to be successful, you did their laundry, you cooked their meals, and you provided consistent, relentless support and encouragement. Thank you for all you did to get each graduate here today. Please do not let your support stop now. Keep encouraging them as they do the work to get the job of their dreams. Next, let's talk about the staff and faculty at AIE Seattle. I know I might be biased, but this school is blessed with some seriously incredible staff and teachers who spend time and energy sharing their experiences and expertise with our students. We measure success by seeing students complete the program, and there are countless hours of work from both staff and teachers that goes on behind the scenes that is often overlooked. An industry professional recently shared this accolade with me after he spoke with a group of our students. He said, "So many of the students have also pinged me with notes of thanks and kind words. Gives me a lot of hope for the future of this industry. I hope it's also a big encouragement for you and the rest of the team there. In my experience, it's a reflection of the people who are teaching and leading them. The staff and faculty lead by example, and they all provide exceptional, professional, amazing examples. So I want to give a big, warm thank you to all the staff and faculty for the time, energy, and commitment you put into making this campus and these graduates the best they can be. Thank you for the dedication it takes to create an event like this one, for sharing your passion in the classrooms, and for all the little details it takes to run a school. You are all amazing, and I deeply appreciate it." Finally, we have our graduates. What you have done to get here today, completing these two-year programs, is substantial and amazing. Thank you all so much for the contributions you have made to this community. This group of graduates spent most of their education working remotely due to a worldwide pandemic. Despite the challenges of COVID-19 and adjusting to a new educational platform, this graduating class showed incredible perseverance and dedication to completing this program. The work they produced in their final games and short film are nothing short of outstanding. Just like rocks in the river that are knocked around enough to become smooth to the touch, these graduates are not only ready to enter the game development industry, but they are also stronger and smoother than ever. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know all of you this year. The support of the school will continue well beyond your graduation, so please stay in touch. Tell us about the amazing job you land. Tell us what incredible projects you are helping to create. Tell us how you're doing. We want to hear from you. By the way, that reel that you saw at the opening of our ceremony was created by one of our 2020 graduates, Charles Clement. He did an amazing job. I wish all the graduates the greatest success in the next phase of your career. I want to leave you with a quote from Apple Computer's introduction to their 1997 Think Different campaign presented by Steve Jobs. He said, "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the one thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius." because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Congratulations to all the graduates. Next, I am thrilled to introduce to you today's featured commencement speaker, Mike Belzer. Mike has worked as a professional animator for over 30 years. He has worked for such companies as Walt Disney, Feature Animation, Warner Brothers, Pixar, and Valve. He got his start with stop motion animation working with icons like Gumby, The Pillsbury Doughboy, and Hershey's Kisses, and in films like The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach. He eventually transitioned to computer animation, creating feature films, commercials, video games, and even virtual reality experiences. One of his many hobbies is traveling the world, teaching and lecturing about the craft of animation. The only thing he loves more than animating is spending time with his family. Today, we have him along with us to help congratulate the graduating class of 2021. Mike?
Hey, y'all. Gotta have that music. Thank you for the introduction. My gosh, it's just awesome to be here. Thank you to the AIE faculty and the school just to have me here, and really thank you the graduates of 2021. My gosh, it's really a treat to talk to you, to be here today. What a year. I mean, what a journey that you've all had. You've learned so much, not just from understanding what AIE has taught you with the classes and the courses, but how do you adapt to curveballs? Now, curveballs are going to happen all in life. It's difficult to pivot in situations, but you guys have done that in spades. To be able to pivot around and move forward in a circumstance that you're not familiar with it's going to happen time and time again in life. So you've learned valuable lessons that you don't even know yet, that I think you're going to look back on and really have that hindsight to feel what it's all about. Challenges, they're always going to pop up in front of you, whether it's in your career or in life. It's your choices and your decisions that will not only set your path, but it's going to help define who you are. Are you one that's going to sit back, kind of see how things pan out? Or are you going to be the one to step forward, step into that ring of fire and make a difference? Now, today's commencement speech, I want to just, if nothing else you take away from this, I want you to take away 3 words. And those 3 words are never give up. And you've already done that because you're here, you're graduating, and that is an impressive accomplishment. Don't take that lightly. And also for all the parents and the grandparents helping support them, you didn't give up either. So you're already on that path. You already have that mindset. So kudos to you and congratulations. I am an animator by trade, started with stop motion. And with animation, a stop motion or a reel is what's key to finding work. It's a demo reel. It showcases your work. And the very first reel that I put together, I was pretty nervous about it. And I put it out there, and there was a show coming up, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. This is going to be just the way I want it to go. And it got sent back to me. And not only did it get sent back to me, but it got sent back in the original package. They didn't even open it. I mean, that was rough. How much do I have to suck for them not even to look at the reel? So what do you do with that, though? I was pretty devastated, but my teacher at the time, mentor and now friend, he basically hit me in the head, got me out of my self-pity. He said, try again and follow it up with phone calls. So I did. And I continued to do that over the series of months. And it's that fine balance of trying to understand how much to push. But through that perseverance, they finally offered me an opportunity to do a test. And so, okay, I'm up for that challenge. I took the weekend. I didn't sleep at all. I planned out a shot. I was sculpting characters. I did the animation, and I sent it on up there. And that was enough for them to give a little kid the opportunity to start on his career path. And that was my first job. And so I didn't give up. I was hired as the last animator on that Gumby TV show back in '87. Now, no bones about it, I still sucked. I was not a very good animator, but I was determined to get better and practice and learn as much as I could about the craft of animation. Now, keep in mind, this is back when there was no internet. So really, then there wasn't a whole lot even on animation. There's some books and magazines, cool place called the library. So I was there, but I cold call people trying to find out more about it, pushing forward, because the thing that I knew is nobody can control me. I was in control of my effort. So nobody was going to work harder than me at working my craft and bettering my craft of animation. That's what I had in my control. So there's always going to be somebody better than you, and that's okay, because you actually learn from them. So don't be threatened by that. Embrace it and learn from them. A couple things to remember: just always show up on time. If you're not early, you're late. You know, if you're be there to lend a hand to those around you, you'll be surprised at how many blessings really come back your way once you start doing that. Now, my wife, who's an extraordinary woman, biggest champion for me, very smart. Why she married me, I have no idea, but I'm very blessed for it. She has this great quote where, you know, it's probably been said before, but it's something that she has just told me time and time again. And that is, just show up. Because if you think about it, when you break it down, just showing up, it puts you ahead of so many others. How many people out there talk about doing something, but the action of just showing up to do it, that doesn't happen all the time. So I'm giving you these little things to just hopefully plant the seeds. If you could just hang on to some of these, it's going to put you ahead of the curve. Now, the other thing is goals. Don't let goals get in the way of your opportunity. Goals are really important. Have daily goals, project goals, personal goals, 5, 10-year goals, all pivotal to keeping moving forward. But a lot of those doors might not line up with what you think. And so you always want to give them a chance. You want to look at those. When I was 25 years old, like I said, I was a stop motion animator. You couldn't find a guy who was more against computers than I was. I don't want to use the word hated, but yeah, pretty much. Computers was not where it was at. But I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity at this small little computer company. They were doing some fun commercials. They offered me a job and allowed me to learn the computer. So it offered me a couple of things. One, a paycheck, which was great to pay rent and buy food. But more importantly, it was a way to learn a new style and craft of animation that was just coming on the scene. So what I ended up thinking I would hate, I ended up really enjoying it. And that small company ended up being a really cool place to work, made lifelong friendships, and it really has aided in my career to be able to put the word Pixar on my resume. It's not the Pixar that I was at that you know today, but again, it was that incredible opportunity of a door that I didn't want to even look at that I took the chance to do. So don't be afraid to fail. You know, we learn so much more from our failures than we do our successes. We all have people we admire. For me, Walt Disney is one of those guys, not just because of all the animation and the studio and the theme parks, but it's what he overcame. Did you know that Walt Disney was bankrupt at one point in his life? Did you know that he created Oswald the Rabbit, which was the first thing that he created, a big thing. And he lost that. That was taken away from him, along with all the animators, because of contractual thing. Well, the guy was kind of down and out, didn't give up. On the train ride back, he was doing some doodles, came up with this little character called Mickey Mouse. And we all know how that ended. So Disney once said, first think, second dream, third believe, and finally dare. Dreams without actions are just dreams. It's easy to sit back and dream. It's hard to get out there day after day, make those dreams a reality. It takes hard work, dedication, consistency, desire to make those dreams a reality. And you all have them. Follow through with that. Don't give up on those. Now you're going to come into forks in the road, as I call them, decisions to make. And those aren't always easy to figure out. So don't just always take the easy way out either. You know, look at this crazy thing called the pandemic. You came to one of those forks. How do I do this? What do I do? Do I just quit, or do I adapt and make it happen? You overcame. You never gave up. But how do you really know? How do you know what to do? So one of the things you want to do is you want to listen to that little voice inside you. Some people call it a Holy Spirit. Some people call it intuition. Some might call it Jiminy Cricket. One case, I call it my, again, beautiful, brilliant wife on the phone with me. So I was just done doing a lecture series at this convention, dog tired. I was literally on the phone walking out of the convention at a crossroads, a little crossroads, where at the right was my hotel. And I was tired. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go back to bed. And she's like, well, you know, you maybe should go left, because on the left is a bar where these guys I was talking to earlier that day. They're like, hey, you should come on over, and when you're all done, we should chat it up and, you know, just talk. And I'm like, and at that time I had a pretty sweet job lined up. So it's just like, I wasn't looking for a job. And I was just like, but that little voice, along with the big voice in my head, I chose that. I went left. And with that, I went and I met these incredible people that ended up being a wonderful career for these past 11 years at Valve, all because I walked left instead of right. And if you're curious, that other job that I'm talking about that was pretty sweet lined up, they're still looking for the funding on that project. So I want you to keep things in mind, like dreaming big. Dream big, aim high, give it your best shot. And you guys you're already doing that, but continue to do that. If you don't, and if you miss, that's okay, because you might get close. And if you don't try at all, you're never going to make it. You're never going to land anything. So you have to give it that effort. Because if you don't try, you can never have, you never know if you would have made it or not. Denzel Washington, great actor that I really admire, he had this great quote. He said, do not fear failure, but be terrified of regret. Don't let regrets. You don't want to be a year, 5 years, whatever down the road thinking, I should have done that. I've seen it happen. I've seen it multiple times happen to people. Embrace the moment. Just show up. Never give up. Lastly, I want to leave you with this. Surround yourself with amazing people. Good people, people who are better and smarter than you. Treat them right. Treat them with kindness and patience, and help them where you can. You know, when I was an animation supervisor at Disney, I hired this intern, talented animator, brought him in as an intern, and he had a dream. He had a dream of being a character animator one day, like a senior driving a character. And he ended up getting that dream. And I was just animating, bopping around doing some animation after the supervising thing, and I got to work with him. And so this guy that I hired as an intern was now my supervisor. Gratefully, he was kind to me. I think I might have started the trend, but it was a wonderful experience, and he never gave up. He got his dream. So always treat people right. Now, the choices that you make matter, even the little ones. The ones you think nobody will notice, because you notice and you know. So follow that dream, feel it in your heart, and follow the passion. Dream big, make good choices, treat people well, and always remember, never give up. God bless you. I really wish you all the best on your new adventures, your chapters in life. You're going to be rock stars. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. I loved that bit about regrets. I hope all the graduates were listening to that part. That was good. That was really good. So in preparing for today's ceremony, we asked our students to do a lot of things. First, we asked them to work really hard for 2 years and finish our rigorous 1,800-hour program during a pandemic. Then, we asked them to submit work for the beautiful grad reel you saw at the start of our program today. And finally, we also asked them to vote on which student would best represent them as the student-nominated speaker in today's ceremony. And really, there was not really any doubt. This graduating class enthusiastically nominated Jake Schillen to speak to you all today on their behalf. Take it away, Jake. Stand by, we're having technical.
Thank you all for letting me do this, by the way. Dear cats, kittens, pups, and puppy chows of the Academy of Interactive Entertainment Seattle class of 2021, I am your graduation speaker, Jake Schillen. And it's been a long 2 years, but it's been an even longer 15 months squirreled away inside. Nothing about this has been easy or fun or welcoming, except for all of the efforts that we've made to make it easy, fun, and welcoming. There's nothing like applying to an education, getting accepted, and moving to an entirely brand new city for exploration of its wonders, only to be shoved back in our overpriced rooms and told to close the door, never to leave again. Nothing like building relationships with a set of icons and initials through your computer screen, and nothing like the empty void that greets you after asking your fellow unwebcammed peers for a response to your question. It's been awkward, it's been hard, it's definitely been an introspective experience. And I think that's what these 5 minutes that you've granted me are going to be about. Introspection. The thing that we've all gotten a real big dose of during this strangest of times. It's been a real opportunity for self-reflection, self-growth, and a new type of patience for everyone's day-to-day mental states. For the better, forgiveness has become a necessary practice, if only because we can wholeheartedly empathize with the day-to-day struggle that we're all going through, we're all living through together. No one asked for it, but you're here today because you dealt with it and all the things like it, so nice job, gang, real nice. It's moments like this that open up industries and cultures for real change, and guess what? We can bring that. So let's do a quick pivot to some very blasé film history that I think includes introspection and might somewhat connect to our industry in the here and now. We'll see. So to make the B-movie blockbusters that the Spielbergs and the Lynches and the Penny Marshalls and the Jim Jarmusch's put out that we all love, they had to be inspired. They had to be inspired by a new type of film, an introspective type of film that was happening in their youth. It's called French New Wave, probably just called like French Wave or French Wavin' from back then. It was a movement caused by French film critics, remember that, critics, frustrated by the parade of monotonous Western media marching in and out of movie theaters everywhere. So you got Francois Truffaut with 400 Blows, you got Jean-Luc Godard with Breathless. It's films like these that mean we get to watch things like Blue Velvet and Glorious Bastards and Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai and Big with Tom Hanks. So Greg Kasavin, coming back down to the games side of things, Greg Kasavin is a guy who's a designer and the lead narrative writer for Supergiant Games, the studio behind Bastion and Transistor and Pyre and, the apple of all of our eyes, Hades. So before joining up with Amir Rao and Gavin Simon at Supergiant, Greg was a games critic. Huh? Well, actually, he worked at EA. They all did. We'll gloss over that. That's just what you did back then. But when he was a kid, he was writing game reviews for his homegrown website, Arcadia Magazine. This led to his internship at a brand new games journalism company called GameSpot, where he became the editor-in-chief after a few years. So see, that's sort of the connection here, is that there were film critics, and now there are game critics, who were then the Jean-Luc Godards, and now the Greg Kasavins, and then there were Spielberg people, and now there's us people. That'd be pretty cool, right? So my point in telling this super loose and unsourced history is that our industry is still young and is now rounding the corner into a time of introspective creatives who've been looking at video games all their lives, analyzing them, and who now want to rebel against the societal need that AAA studios believe they must fulfill. That need is the one that defecates out another Call of Duty, another Assassin's Creed, another FIFA every year, and there's nothing wrong with those games. They're fun, and hell, I want to work for those companies. But there's also a desire for more now, okay? More depth instead of more sequels, I hope. So let's take that introspection, that self-reflection, that self-growth that we've gained these past 2 years, and let's compile it with the guiding light that we're getting from introspective games like Hades and Slime Rancher and Boyfriend Dungeon and Going Under and Video Ball and Frog Detective and Among Us and all the rest. Let us here and now be inspired by them. Let's take what we've experienced in our education, in our homes, and in ourselves these last 2 years and invest them in the future of our industry, of our craft. Let's make that the new AAA. Let's make that the new AAA. I mean, whatever the hell that means, but let's do it. You chose me as your speaker because you wanted drama. Well, here it is. Lights, camera, action. We're at the end. Never forget Jim. Never forget James. Never forget Vic. Okay? Never forget all of those that got us here. Cammie and Misty, Terry, Amy, Andy, Charlene, Regina, Ursula, the ones that facilitated our sunrises and now our sunsets. But most importantly, never forget yourself. You chose this education for yourself. You chose this industry for yourself. You matter a whole hell of a lot. Okay? You know it. I know it. And my mom knows it because she texted me something like that yesterday. So, just to end this, I wanted to say I love you all. Thank you all for 2 years of hard work, hard passion, and growth, for letting me speak, a little bit here today and chew your ear off. So let's take what we got now, and let's see each other on the other side. We did really well. Happy flippin' flappin' graduation, class of 2021.
And now you all know why Jake was nominated to be today's class speaker. Nice work, Jake. Next up, we have the presentation of our Valedictorian Awards. Each class award will be presented by the Year 2 teacher for the respective class. We will start with a truly amazing instructor, Amy Winkler, to present the Game Art and Animation Class Valedictorian Award.
Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to say I'm super nervous. I got the shakes. So I'm here to present the Class of 2021 Advanced Diploma of Professional Game Development, specializing in game art and animation. This award for valedictorian goes to a student that has shown great growth as an artist from their very first day at AIE to their very final week. Not only is this student particularly talented, but they are very kind and very gracious towards their peers. They're the first to volunteer when AIE calls out for help, and as well as co-carrying the torch for art clubs. This award goes to Kiera Wentworth. I cannot wait to see where your career takes you. I wish you all the best in the days ahead. I'm going to start crying. You will be a tremendous asset to any team that is lucky enough to get you. And now I'm going to go cry in a puddle. Congratulations, Kiera.
Thank you, Amy, and congratulations to Kiera. Yay! Next, we have the one and only Terry Nguyen, who will present the Game Programming Valedictorian Award. Terry.
All right. So, howdy, folks. As you heard, my name is Terry Nguyen, but that's not who you need to hear about. Who you really need to hear about is the Game Programming Valedictorian. So, I am reporting to you live, not from the Game Programming classroom, as it might seem, but instead from the comfort of my own desk. And so what I wanted to do is just take some time here to tell you a little bit about the Game Programming Valedictorian, right? Like, what exactly are we thinking about when we consider who is this valedictorian? And really, it comes down to three major things, right? Number one, their technical skills. Number two, their classroom presence. And then number three, their industry presence, right? So let me just kind of break it down for you, for those of us that are not a part of the gaming industry. When we're thinking about their technical skills, we're really kind of thinking about their ability to do the things that a game programmer would need to do, right? So whether that's solving problems, whether that's fixing problems, whether it's trying to figure out if there's even a problem in the first place, these are all things that programmers have to do. Some examples of this would be trying to create perhaps an AI, right? So that our character can walk around from one character of the screen to another. Or even perhaps something like the visuals of something, right? Looking at it and saying, okay, well, what color is this object supposed to be? When light bounces off this object, what is that supposed to look like? That's what we're talking about when you think of technical skills. The second one is the classroom presence, right? And in this, one of the things that we pride ourselves on at AIE is having a classroom that really tries to emulate the studio experience as much as possible. So when I think of a healthy working studio, I think a lot about how all of us are more than welcome to ask each other questions, right? Hey, can you take a look at this? Is this actually a problem, or am I just seeing things? These are questions that we should be able to just turn to each other and ask. And I feel like this individual here has really embodied a lot of the types of behaviors and spirits that I would like to see in a healthy working studio. The third one, though, is hardest, right? The industry presence. This is perhaps particularly challenging to achieve in the middle of a global panini like today, because all of the usual things we ask this person to do, like go to meetups, attend socials, do game jams, just, aren't quite the same today online. But this person still, nevertheless, tried to do their best to maintain their industry presence, going on to share their work with others, share all of the cool things that they're working on, and even try to solve problems that other people could potentially benefit from in the form of various different things and tools that are made available. So with all of these three things in mind, right, technical skills, classroom presence, and industry presence, I'm very proud to present Tristan Newby, Game Programming Valedictorian of the class of 2021. Thank you for being a part of my classroom. Thank you for your time here at AIE Seattle. Please do stay in touch. I'm very excited to see what the next chapter of your career looks like. Yeah, please give Tristan a big round of applause as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry, and congratulations, Tristan. Well done. Up next, we have the soft-spoken yet amazingly talented Andy Romine, who will present the Valedictorian Award for our VFX class.
Thank you, Ursula, and congratulations to the valedictorians we've announced so far. Joining me also is Vic Bonilla, our other VFX instructor. So at AIE, as Terry was just saying, we put a lot of focus on training everybody who comes through these doors to be studio ready, adaptable, collaborative, really skilled with critical thinking, to kind of approach every project with all their full artistic and technical might at the ready. This year's valedictorian in 3D animation and visual effects for film came into the program with some of these qualities already to hand. And as we progress through another extremely challenging year, a couple of years of lockdowns and remote learning, this student polished all of those skills to a really high degree of professional shine, and then some. I have the pleasure of announcing that the 2021 valedictorian in 3D animation and VFX for film is Nora Haley. During her 2 years at AIE, Nora has demonstrated time and time again that she has what it takes to excel in the VFX and animation industries. Nora embraced every assignment with dedication, perseverance, and a lot of joy too, and enthusiasm. She picked up new concepts with a speed and understanding that I think sometimes left Vic and I in the dust. Her artistic and technical work has been exemplary, yes, but even more than that, Nora has been kind and generous and enthusiastic, sharing their expertise, supporting and leading the rest of the VFX team, not just in the day-to-day assignments, but through two very challenging minor and major production to help complete two very ambitious projects with techniques that no AIE student has ever done before. So we'll be hearing about that soon. But for me and Vic, it's been an honor and a privilege to be your instructors, Nora. Along with everyone else at AIE, we're so proud of you and can't wait to see what you get up to next, because we know it's going to be amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you, Andy and Vic. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Nora. Well earned. Well earned. Finally, for our final valedictorian award, I give you our very favorite redhead, Erin Roxby, to present the valedictorian for the game design and production class.
Of course, it wouldn't be a meeting if I didn't forget to turn on my mic. So no one ever said it was a lovely ceremony. The speeches were so long, so I'm going to keep this short. And luckily, I don't need a long speech because our valedictorian's work speaks for itself. Game production is a tightrope walk between support and oversight. It's a subtle, often thankless job that is only noticed often when things go wrong. A team with no guidance risks becoming confused and will find their hard work wasted. On the other hand, micromanaging a team breeds resentment and prevents people from doing their best. Our valedictorian embodies this balancing act as well as anyone I've worked with. She's meticulous, organized, and ambitious. She's also sensitive and empathetic. In other words, she's a great producer. And not content with being great at one thing, she's designed some wonderful games. She's adept at the other balancing act, the designer's balancing act between technical and creative. But if it seems like I'm leaning hard into her skills as a producer, it's because the sentiment is also shared by AAA developer Riot Games, where she's already working as a producer. At this point, of course, you know that I'm talking about Catherine Levine. So congratulations, Catherine. I didn't write the speech further at this point, but you super deserve this. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin, and congratulations, Kat. Well deserved. So we have one final award to give before we get to the commencement. Our next award is incredibly special. Each graduating class has one student present in the whole class that stands out above the others for their lasting contribution to the growth and development of AIE's programs, students, and reputation in the field. The student who earned this year's award consistently showed unwavering effort to find solutions, mentor fellow students, and raise the spirits of everyone around them. This student was an inspiration to us all during their time at AIE, and their legacy will be felt for years to come. It is with great honor that I present on behalf of AIE Seattle faculty and staff the Class of 2021 Legacy Award to Jake Schillen. Congratulations, Jake. You will receive a teeny tiny Terry statue in addition to a certificate of appreciation for your contributions to our campus. So now we have arrived at the moment you have all been waiting for. We will commence through our graduates, taking a moment to recognize each and state their name for the record, acknowledging the completion of requirements to earn either an advanced diploma of professional game development or an advanced diploma of screen and media. First up will be the Game Art and Animation Group, presented by Amy Winkler.
Hello all. I am here and ready for the names. Ready to present for Advanced Diploma of Professional Game Development, specializing in game art and animation. Thomas Aguilar. Beatrice B. Benavides. Dylan Brown. Lucas Burdick. Russ Sister. Corey Collins. Wilson Comer. Kedron DeGroot. Lucia Fonseca. Grace Gilbert. Emily Gook. Morgan Carnes. Everest Marshall. Milo Moore. Rebecca Pierce. Jessica J.J. Pendergast. Daniel Ramirez. Molly Rooser. Juan Reyes Cisneros. Seth Rivera. Alexis Rodriguez. Ariel Rushing. Aaron Schneider. Jose Sosa. Cody Stam. Sasha Chernoff. Melanie Templin. Omar Velasquez. Kiera Wentworth. Mariah Young. Congratulations, graduates of 2021.
Great, thank you so much, Amy. Next, Terry Nguyen is here to present the graduates of our game programming program. Terry.
All right. Howdy again, folks. Terry Nguyen here, coming at you once again live from my desk. I'm here on behalf of the game programming department. So that is not only I, but also Robert Rood. And also a lot of the work that has gone into this class also stems from John Collins, who has been a happy friend of AIE and also a beloved colleague of mine. So I figured before we roll through the names, I just wanted to, number one, fill in people a little bit about what the game programming department does. Since I'm sure game programming, right, doesn't quite come across as a visual thing as much as game art might. So let me tell you that game programmers, right, are truly the people that build the worlds that you see in the games around you. And we're not talking about building the world in the same way that artists do in creating, props and environmental pieces and all the characters. We're talking about powering all the logic that makes things tick, right? So whether it's a matter of the clock proceeding along, right, from morning to night in a game, or the ability for a character to run around in the game and jump and shoot and whatnot, these are all possible because we make it happen, right? We program the logic that says, when I press button on keyboard, the character does the thing, right? That's what we do as the game programming department. But that's just a simple explanation of what we do, because there's a lot of different types of game programming work that is done. There's anything from AI work, right, that basically allows us to create our own little machines that can seemingly think and react on their own, to also creating computer graphics, right? Saying, when I have a box or some sort of shape, when there's lights or colors in the scene, how does the player perceive those objects, right? That's all work that happens as a result of the work that these game programming students are doing. This even extends to other areas, right? Whether it's a matter of the ability for us to go through and say, when I take an object, a box, if I may, and throw it at the wall, without any additional logic or programming or anything, those boxes just fly right through the wall, right? We have to program the physics. We have to program in those reactions to say, when the box is in contact with that wall, that it bounces off, right? So anything that happens in a game, know that a game programmer was likely involved in making that thing possible. So I'm very proud of you, game programming students, for having the tenacity and the skills to go through the arduous journey of debugging all these things and figuring out, well, why is it that when I touch certain parts of the ship I'm flying on, that I just reset to some given location? Why is it perhaps that when I talk to a character in my game, that the game just completely stops moving? You know, these are all problems that we face on a daily basis. But our goal is to make sure that all of these are fixed up as much as possible, so that by the time the game gets into the player's hands, that everything works at least 90% of the time as best as possible. So, game programming students, I have a few more things for you, specifically before we roll into the names. Number one, I might be a little bit biased, but did you know that AIE Seattle is the best campus? I would like to have you know that you're graduating from the best campus possible. So congratulations again for all of that. Number two, right? In case you didn't know, this Sunday, July 18th, 2021 is a National Ice Cream Day. So if I may ask, please have one in my honor and make sure to always stay hydrated. And then finally, best of all, my final piece of advice for all of you, right? When you're facing a terribly tough problem, when you can't figure out why your logic is not working the way you want it to, just remember, don't worry about it. You know, break down the problem and figure out what the root cause is before you try to solve it. All right, let's roll with the names. First up is Jonathan Blakey, Alexander Bonesteel, Belle Bradbury, Samuel Damon, Joseph Fisher, Robert Garcia Allen, Devin Gregory, Ryan McCoy, Tristan Newby, Edward Nichols, Tyler Peterson, Julia J. Pickett, Jesse Simmerduck. So proud of you all.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Congratulations, graduates. Next, we have Aaron Roxby, who will present the graduates of the Game Design and Production program.
Of course, once again, this being a from home presentation, there may be a dog loudly eating dog food behind me. And that's just part of the magic of this ceremony. There has never been a graduating class with an experience quite like this one's. And God willing, there will never be another one. These students managed to navigate the entirety of a once in a century, again, God willing, pandemic. They not only persevered in the face of adversity, they thrived. While this class is remarkable for having faced adversity, they're not defined by it. They're defined by their mix of cold logic, warm creativity, and passionate drive that make great designers. And I'm incredibly proud of every name I'm about to read. So let's get with the names. Michael Tyler Baldwin, Kevin Bryan, Isaiah Casey, Jackie Chen, Devin Winter Clement, Jason Cowdrey, Brandon Garcia Carrillo, Boaz Havron, Bruce Heiner, Catherine Levine, Maylene Lynn Playbook, Hunter Mansanas, Logan McCrae, Jacob Novak, Jack Plato, Jake Schillen, Rachel Tony. And if I mispronounced anyone's name, it's only because I consider you such close acquaintances that I've never bothered to learn your last names, only the first. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, last but so certainly not least, we have Andy Romine and Vic Bonilla to present you the graduates of the Advanced Diploma of Screen and Media, 3D Animation and VFX for Film, while also debuting this group's final film project.
Thanks, Ursula. Yeah, along with our lead VFX instructor, Vic Bonilla, and with a lot of help too in their first years from Amy Winkler and Misty Loreen, I had the honor of teaching some super dedicated and talented filmmakers during their 2 years here at AIE. And wow, as everyone is saying, those were some pretty momentous years, weren't they, y'all? Remote learning and lockdowns, construction noise and sirens, teams crashing all the time, trying to share our play blasts through Zoom, licensing issues, heat waves, but also new skills, new friendships, awesome 3D models, complicated camera tracks, super detailed character rigs, photoreal supervillain headquarters, some great storytelling, 2 very successful films under your belts, including a final project that we made in VFX with the Unreal Engine, dipping a little bit into the game art side of things to do something that no student at AIE here in Seattle has done before, is to make a film with some of these newer virtual production tools. Really cutting edge stuff, and I'm so glad you got to be a part of it. And so before I introduce you to the very talented VFX class of 2021, why don't we take a look at the film they made, the world premiere of their graduate film, Scrap.
And it is a 6A model. Orange details, basic finish, right? Great, thank you. Sounds like it's the one. Let's go find him. Right where they said. Shit, he's pretty beaten up. Hey boy, you gonna make this easy? Whoa!
You okay?
Don't lose him.
It's a great film, y'all. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. A lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks, but your determination and perseverance, you made something really great. So the class of 2021 is pretty small, but very mighty. You all have grown and accomplished amazing things together, and Vic and I know that you'll continue to do so long after you've left AIE. As of this moment, you're really no longer our students, you're our colleagues, and that's the best feeling in the world for us. I wanted to read a few words from Vic. As you all know, he's retiring this year, and leaving behind a lot of good memories and a lot of great teaching. I've certainly learned a heck of a lot from you, Vic. So I thank you for myself for the 2 years that we've had to teach together. But more importantly, Vic has some words that he'd like to leave for you, and he's asked me to read them. And if I tear up a little bit, it's just going to happen. So here's some advice for all of you from Vic. We have one job as VFX artists, to help a person forget about the real world we live in, especially this year, right? To bring them into a fantastical world, to provide an escape from their troubles, to help spark their imagination, to help. Not many grads can say that at any graduation, that they're going to go out and help people that they've not met. Don't forget to help the people close to you. You'll be surprised how much they'll do the same for you. And most importantly, to help yourself. You can't give to others if you're empty. Now go forth, make magic. So, the graduates of the 3D animation film class of 2021 are, we can show the slides, Nora Haley, James O'Brien, Daniel Shop, and Elisa Smirnova. Go and make magic, my friends. We're very, very proud of you. Good luck out there.
All right, with that, we would like for the whole staff and faculty to give a mighty congratulations to AIE Seattle's class of 2021. Congratulations, everyone. Yay!
Congratulations!
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 Congratulations, everybody. Fantastic.
Everybody have an awesome day. We're super proud of you all, and we're not going anywhere. So if you need anything, please make sure you let us know. We're still here.
Students, stay in touch. Or rather, graduates, stay in touch.